"You don't belong here. Off the airfield. Now." The captain's voice cut through the morning air, stern and absolute, drawing a sharp line between authority and intrusion. All eyes shifted to the elderly woman standing near the rope line, slim, dignified, dressed in black, with a worn envelope clutched in her fragile hands. But she didn't move. She stood with the quiet defiance of someone who had waited a lifetime for this moment, her eyes locked on the slow, perfect steps of the tomb guard pacing before the tomb of the unknown soldier. The captain took another step toward her, irritation rising with each second she disobeyed. "This is a restricted area, last warning." Still, she remained frozen in place, unmoved by his rank or his tone. Her name was Marie Holston, and while no one in uniform recognized her, she had more right to stand on that sacred ground than almost anyone present. Decades ago, when she was just 19, she stood on another set of steps, this time waving goodbye to her older brother, James Holston, as he boarded a transport truck in a too-big uniform, laughing off his nerves and promising to be home by Christmas. He never came back. James disappeared during a mission in France in 1957. Nobody was ever recovered. No grave to visit, no closure. Just a flag in a box and a single line in the military records. Unaccounted. Marie had written him letters every year since. Never mailed, there was no destination, just written and stored in a small cedar box beneath her bed. Letters about birthdays, weddings, losses, and how the world kept turning without him. Now, at 87, her hands too unsteady to write one more, she had brought the final letter to the only place it belonged. She had taken 2 buses and walked the last half-mile alone. She didn't intend to cross the cordon, but the sight of the marble tomb, his tomb she believed, pulled her forward like a magnet. She needed to be closer, close enough to whisper goodbye. That was when the captain noticed her and snapped. He thought she was just another confused civilian crossing a line she shouldn't. But Marie hadn't come for attention. She came for her brother. The air around her grew thick with silence, tension building, until the impossibly disciplined rhythm of the guard's steps suddenly paused. Without turning, without breaking protocol, the tomb guard whispered just loud enough to be heard, "Let her pass." The captain blinked. "Excuse me?" Again the words came firm and undeniable, "Let her pass." The weight of those words shifted the air. The captain hesitated, caught between regulation and reverence, but he stepped back. The other soldiers followed, and Marie, with slow, reverent steps, moved forward. The world felt quiet, slowed to a heartbeat as she approached the tomb. When she reached it, she knelt carefully, placed the envelope gently at its base, and closed her eyes. A breeze moved across the stone, lifting the corner of the letter just slightly, as if acknowledging its presence. No one said a word, not the guards, not the visitors, not the command staff now watching with hands over their hearts, because everyone understood. They were witnessing something sacred. Later, someone would ask the tomb guard why he broke protocol. He said he saw her holding the envelope, the name on it, to James Holston. And something about the way she stood, still, proud, aching, told him this wasn't just a woman visiting a monument. This was someone who had been waiting to come home. 2 weeks later, a letter arrived for Marie from the Department of Defense. Inside was a recently declassified field report confirming James Holston's last known act, covering the retreat of wounded comrades near Caen, France. Though his body was never found, his sacrifice had been verified. His name was added to the list of those believed to be laid to rest at the tomb of the unknown soldier. Marie wept. Not out of grief, she had shed those tears decades ago, but out of gratitude. Gratitude that after all the silence, someone had finally said his name again, and someone had let her say goodbye. Because sometimes what changes everything isn't a ceremony or a headline. It's one whisper of compassion in a place built on silence. One soldier choosing humanity over rules. One sister, carrying 68 years of grief in a simple envelope, finally finding the place where her words belonged. And in that moment, surrounded by honor and stillness, she wasn't just a visitor. She was family. Because real service isn't just guarding the fallen, it's recognizing the ones who never stopped looking for them. Before we wrap up the story, let us know in the comments, where are you watching from? We'd love to hear. If this story touched you, subscribe to the channel and hit that like button and drop a comment below.